All right, welcome everyone back to Spiritual Selfish channel. As usually, I'm Christina Day, and today I'm joined by a very special and beautiful soul, Gaby Kowalski. So those of you who do not know who Gaby is, she is a beautiful human being of light, who is doing so much and creating so much in a beautiful way for the new earth on our planet. And for those of you who are completely new to Gaby, here's a little bit of quick official introduction. So Gaby is actually a 5D visionary, self-made millionaire, and the founder of the Oneness Foundation, and also Magic School for teens and kids. So Gaby is a speaker, quantum coach, soul mission, ascension, and abundance mentor, and the creator of the New Earth Mission Collective, Quantum Magic School for the School, and the Codex of Abundance. And with over 20 years immersed in personal, spiritual, and soul mission evolution, her passion is to support the creation and stabilization of the new Earth, an Earth where living an abundant and loving life for all is the status quo. An Earth where we remember that we are multidimensional fractals of Source consciousness, creating worlds and the universes. An Earth where all life matters. And Gaby, welcome. That is such a beautiful description of you and what you are co-creating. So excited to have you here and chat today more about the Quantum Magic School for kids and teens.
Yay! Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. It is an honor and a pleasure to co-create and to be here. And of course, to talk about Magic School for teens and kids, which is like a dream that I've held in my heart for over 2 decades. And so it's so beautiful to see it anchor, and to grow and to expand. And thank you for having me here.
Yes, thank you for creating this beautiful mission and this beautiful platform, and really dedicating your resources, energy, time, finances to create this. So before we dive into meat and potatoes, I would love to hear what is
potatoes. I love that.
Yeah, all of that. What is Quantum Magic School for kids if somebody is hearing about it for the first time?
Beautiful. Okay, cool. So, so much to share. This is a collaboration with amazing souls from all over the world. Souls that are missioned to support the ascension of humanity, their conscious evolution. And these particular souls, often, the ones these particular souls that have come together are teaching and sharing beautiful, teachings and frequencies of enlightenment for children and teenagers to support them to anchor more of their soul frequency, to remember who they are, to basically consciously evolve and ascend. And the purpose of all of this is, 10 years from now, if our children are receiving from the current spiritual teachers of the world who are teaching adults, and they're receiving similar teachings and similar frequencies, imagine where their consciousness will be 10 years from now. It means that what the adults are learning now will be their kindergarten. And this is what, to me, is truly creating a new golden age, a new era of existence. It's the way that humanity, the future leaders of the world see and co-create with the universe, with every single element of it, the way that they work with all the kingdoms, the plant kingdoms, the animal kingdoms, the crystal kingdoms, all the elements, and of course with each other. So what this is right now is an online beautiful membership, living library of light, which is a membership website filled with previous recordings. We've been running classes for the last, I think, 6 months almost now. And we've also got new classes being taught. So there'll be, sometimes there's a few a week, sometimes, it's ebbing and flowing, and you just check the calendar to see what's on. Some months are really full, some months are less full, yet there's the whole purpose of this is to build the membership website with a library. So children from all over the world, teens, can go in, they'll go into their age group and be able to receive so much around their emotional evolution, their mental embodiment and evolution, their physical evolution, their spiritual evolution, and their quantum embodiment. And what I mean by that is there's a lot of kids and like, you know, there's a lot of kids and teens on the planet right now who have activated more DNA, who have come into the planet with an already crystalline existence and having so much access to the quantum that there really hasn't been a place for these kids to go. And we wanted to create a place and have it be a free place, meaning that this is fully funded by the Oneness Foundation and by the donation of time and energy from the beautiful volunteers. And so this is a place, because children don't have their own money, which means that we wanted to, you know, the vision was to give kids a place that if they choose, like, you know, if they choose to enroll, they get an invitation to come and join. And if they choose to be a part of this beautiful library of light that also has living classes, you know, then they can, and they are supported to be able to ask questions, to be able to engage and learn more and go deeper, as opposed to forgetting. You know, a lot of us who are now adults had access as children, and we forgot. You know, so many times I speak to people and they share how they forgot, you know, that this got turned off or turned down. And so we're giving children the opportunity to not turn it off, to expand upon it, you know, to be able to come to a mystery school, a modern day mystery school, and receive information and receive upgrades and teachings and technologies and wisdoms and, you know, and all sorts of beautiful gifts to support them in the way that they interact with this life, this world, and of course with the way that they interact with the non-physical plane of existence too. So does that give it a little bit of an intro?
More than enough, more than enough. It's so amazing, Gaby, to listen to you speak so passionately with such a, you know, spark within you about all of this. And as you were speaking, it's just such a heck yes in my body that I felt I'm almost starting to tear up because I'm so excited for this project, and it's so amazing and beautiful. And I feel important part that you touched on is that, you know, kids that are coming, souls that are coming in now, kids, their DNA is different than ours. They have more DNA activated with the crystalline grids. So their consciousness is already different, right? They're here for a different purpose than, you know, previous generations. So I think it's really important that, you know, this platform is not just one, it's for, you know, it's leading a new way of education, right? But it's also a new thing that doesn't exist for the souls that haven't existed previously here. So, you know, it's kind of, I don't want to say killing two birds with one stone, but, you know, it serves that purpose.
It's serving more than one purpose, 100%.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So thank you for sharing all of this, and exactly that, you know, it's fully funded, and that anyone who feels the call, the pull, whether it's guardian, parent, the children, the kids itself, they can enroll without, you know, finances being an issue. So I think it's super amazing. So I would love to hear what led you to creating such a beautiful, you know, mission. Where did you got the idea from, and how it all, you know, came into the fruition?
Oh goodness, it's actually, do you want the long story or the short story? Which story do you want? The full story or just the little summary?
All of it. I've heard it all.
You want it all.
So, you know, whatever channels through.
Okay, awesome. Well, it's kind of funny, right? Because I still remember when I came to Australia, I was 6.5, and I didn't speak English very well. I spoke Polish and Italian. I'd been living in Italy prior to that, and Poland prior to that. And I kind of like, oh, how do I put this? I didn't really seem to get along with other humans that much. Not that I didn't get along. It's the better way to describe it. I didn't feel like I fit in with the other humans, but I fit in with kids, animals, and plants. So what I found as a little kid was I'd found myself constantly like looking after the children. So when we'd be at a family function or like a, you know, like some kind of an event, I wouldn't be playing necessarily with the other kids. I would be hanging out with like the toddlers I'd be babysitting the toddlers, the little babies. Like I'd have the little ones with me and we'd be playing, and somehow they gravitated to me and I gravitated to them, to the point where, I kid you not, I still remember this. I would have been like 7 years of age, and I went to my mum and dad's friend's place, and they had a baby there. He would have been probably like 1.5 to 2 years old max. And everyone said that this kid was like a monster. He was just with this child. And by the end of the day, everyone was like, how is this possible? He was just so calm and happy and friendly and full of love. And my whole entire life, I've had this thing where I really just get kids. Kids get me, I get them. Every idea I ever have, kids are like, yes, let's do that. Like I still remember when I'd babysit my friends' kids and I'd come up with awesome ideas and games. Like one time I invented a thing called Cake Face. Cake Face is where you make cakes and you cover them in lots of cream, and then you pile them next to each other and everyone stands in front of their cake, and then you yell out cake face and you put your face in, and whoever eats the most of their cake with just their face wins Cake Face. And so kids always said yes to all my ideas. And then as I grew older, I got into theatre, and I loved theatre. I loved performance, and I got this downloader idea to take the classics, to take like Hans Christian Andersen and Brother Grimm stories, and take these stories and kind of rework them a little bit, and but to really amplify the virtues and the values and the transformations that they offered the reader, and to turn them into puppet shows. And so I created like a theatre company where we, the vision was we were going to travel around the countryside doing these like transformative puppet shows to the youth. And truth to be told, we did some really beautiful projects, yet it wasn't exactly a place where I found that I could generate income, meaning there wasn't much income in that vision. And so needing the mission itself to provide money wasn't kind of working, but it did take me onto a journey to learn how to build, how to build businesses and market and all of that kind of stuff. And then coming to a point where for the last few years, I've been feeling into how can I do something with kids? And, how can I create something that doesn't need to make money, that's got nothing to do with needing to support me financially? How can I continue this dream to to transform the consciousness of children and to support children, to like gravitate at their highest frequency, to anchor into their highest timelines and to embody more of their higher selves? And then piece by piece, this idea to have a beautiful online school for kids and teens came about. And I literally just built out the background infrastructure to it, because obviously the last many years have taught me how to do all of this stuff. I've been running courses and programs for many years now, and so taking all the knowledge I learned in building up my beautiful empire of service and light with running seminars and programs, I built out the infrastructure, called in the volunteers. We ran classes, Dumbledore Magic School for Kids. And ultimately that's the story. That's what I mean by it's actually been my lifetime. Like I feel like this was meant to happen. It's one of my missions, one of the reasons I chose to come to the planet. And it was in me from as long as I can remember. And I truly when I run classes for the kids at Magic School, I can't even begin to tell you how awesome it is. I have the honor to also work with the most profound, beautiful adults in my program. I'm so in love with every single soul I get to serve. And these kids blow me away in the sense of, with the adults, there's usually a little bit of preparation or getting them to accept certain concepts. There's a little bit of massaging the mind, and with the kids, there's no massaging the mind required at all. You just get straight in there. I delivering full quantum classes, meaning we go into the quantum to do classes. Like the last class I ran with them, we literally went into the quantum, into the fairy realms. the fairies took them, and the fairies literally gave them keys to open up the fairy realm, taught them how to co-create with nature, how the fairies ran the whole class. That children, they're receptive, they receive quickly, and all of a sudden they're writing all these notes and drawing all of this stuff up, and it's just, it blows me away. Here, that's my long answer.
Yeah, I think it was very quickly, considering it was 20 or more even years, your whole lifetime in the making. So it's a quite in a nutshell answer. But yeah, 100%, and I went through the portal as well, and I see these teachings, these classes that you lead with the fairies and creating the magic wand, and how kids are just into it, and it's just so amazing to have the space where kids can actually play and fully go in, because in normal average family, that, oh yeah, your imaginary friend, blah blah blah, and kind of belittling what kids are experiencing. So yeah, it's so incredible that they do have this space and a validation, so to speak, from an adult that all of this exists. Maybe yes, we do not see it physically, but doesn't mean that it's not there.
Yeah.
And also what I want to add is when you said I coded material to also call in volunteers, and I clearly remember when I saw your first post about, oh, I'm creating the magic school and I will be calling in the volunteers. Every cell in my body was like, yes, this is what I came here for. Like, this is big part of why my soul is on the planet right now as well. And I also remember when I was about maybe 15 years old, I kind of started noticing that, the traditional education system is not actually educating me. It's telling me what to do, the way I should be. So I remember this message drop in, it's like, change education system, like on the planet. So, for me, it's still, in the realms of working with the consciousness and helping people to see from different perspectives the life, the universe, the multidimensionality. But yeah, I feel there's so many of us who came here to do this, to contribute in whichever way possible. So for me, for example, I'm a volunteer with the school, but I'm not necessarily a teacher who's going to be there with the kids. I love the nitty gritty, the back things of supporting other businesses, from promoting other businesses, or platforms, and talking about other, missions of light. That's what lights me up. So with that, I would also love to hear, because you can apply, as a kid and join the school, but I know we also have open applications for volunteers. So what is something that school is calling in now? How adults can come and co-create and contribute to this beautiful platform?
Yay, beautiful. So thank you. So first up, all children and teens are welcome. We've literally, like, from 0 to 18 years of age, we've got something, and it's growing. So even if you come in, I think there's only like a couple of transmissions for 0 to 3 years of age, because there is and this is sound transmissions to listen to, like when the baby's in the womb, or in the first stages, and they're like literally playing with just like light language and sound frequencies, which is supporting the beautiful being to harmonize into its own signature soul frequency essence. And it's just a beautiful bath for them, and then beyond. And, there's more and more expanding here, so sharing this from the perspective of, like, if you're a teenager, there's very specific classes for teenager consciousness with evolution that are not relevant to kids so much. Personally, for myself, all of my classes are ageless, because I don't believe that we grow up and we grow out of, like, it's actually the opposite. As we evolve and we ascend, we're learning how to access the quantum field and integrate that, the non-physical and the physical dimensions, into one unified field, and literally live within the non-physical and physical worlds at the same time, without putting any emphasis on the physical being more real than the non-physical, because that's not accurate. And so my classes, are actually supporting the stabilization of multidimensional embodiment. And so therefore they're open for all ages, even if you're a teen and you listen and you might think that what I'm sharing is a little bit childlike. Please know the codes, the frequencies are there to unlock so many quantum doors, abilities, dormant DNA. Again, it's allowing us all to, reconnect to the power of our inner child and to co-create with our inner child in so much love and harmony. And it's literally doing inner child healing work at a quantum level. When we harmonize with our inner child and we become one, we're talking like 20 years of therapy, like that, out there. It's just so powerful. So that's that one piece. We've also got classes for parents. And this is where there's beautiful transmissions for conscious parenting and supporting parents in conscious parenting. And especially there'll be even more around this in the future as we grow, to hold Q&A classes so parents can come on and be like, hey, my kid's telling me about going into a spaceship and, seeing these beings and them giving him a special technology, and he has to now go to this place and he's asking me to drive. He needs to go to Uluru now and place this technology into Uluru. And I'm like, what the? So, there'll be there'll be classes. There'll be more support around this. We've also got a Facebook group now for the parents and the kids to be able to ask questions inside there and also receive some support. And if what you're after is a little bit more than the school's free facilities provide, then we can refer one of the teachers and facilitators to you for you to work with more deeply if whatever you're going through is a little bit, bigger than our free, free resources. So that's that part. And then the volunteers. So volunteers, my beautiful friends, if this calls you to your heart, one way to volunteer is to support with many different forms of classes. And what I mean by classes, and by the way, they don't even have to be live. You could record something and send it to us and we'll add it into the membership site. So, or it can be run live with the kids showing up live. And this is across any topic. It could be thinking, emotions, physical, looking after your body, spiritual, soul-based stuff, the connecting and quantum, going deep and learning how to co-create with other civilizations. Yeah. And then on top of that, we also would love to invite you that maybe you don't want to, maybe you're not a teacher, or you're not excited to teach kids. Maybe you're like, I can't really, it doesn't feel resonant for me to transmit these codes to children. I'm actually here to code the adults and transmit. And when I say code, I mean share, knowledge and data with adults. Then what we really would love is your support when it comes to sharing. Right now we've got Kristina. Kristina shares so much on for Magic School for kids, and oh my gosh, we love you so much for sharing. And even this, where she's like, hey, let me interview you, and let's get the word out more. So anyone who feels to be a messenger of Magic School and get the word out in any way, shape or form, then please also apply as a volunteer. You fill out a little application form. Just click the option where it says that you want to help with the marketing and the messaging. Yeah. And you'll have a phone chat with Dumbledore. So once you apply, you'll have a phone chat with Sam, who's our Dumbledore. And that way she can get to know you and feel into you. And then have a look at how we could co-create together, how you could serve in what way, shape or form. And to a very limited degree, there could also be some support logistically. At this stage, what I've done is, what I found was it served more to have a proper paid team doing admin, logistics, running operations, and to allow the volunteers to flow within the sharing and getting the message out there and teaching the classes, only because we need the logistics, we need the operations to run like clockwork. And it's okay for us to have a little bit less classes and a little bit less of the message going out week to week. Yet we want to provide the most beautiful service at Magic School for kids. And so therefore, not as much need for logistical work. Yet if you've got ideas, if you're if you have a look at what we're doing and you've got any ideas and you feel really deeply called, fill in an application for volunteer, have a chat with Sam, aka Dumbledore, and let her know. And she'll then be able to be like, hey, that's freaking awesome, because this is a co-creation of many souls all over the world coming together. And like I really want to anchor that this is a co-creation. As much as I am the one that built, and like, yes, I've like done the building part and I'm the custodian, I guess you could say, of this project. It does not exist without you. If you are here and you're listening and you've got a spark in your heart that has you go, ooh, I want to volunteer, be a part of it. This really can't exist without everyone. Meaning I can't physically do it all myself. I could, but I would burn out. It's not, and I don't have all the teachings required. I've got my stuff to share, and then everybody else has theirs. And then every single one of us, if you want to become a teacher and a messenger, or just one or the other, we all have our own webs of connection. And if you can help more children find out about us, that would make all of us so happy. So I know that there'll be links, right? So we'll be sharing the links, or they are existing somewhere for you to find out about the school, send the information to your kids, and let the kids literally read the invitation letter. There's an invitation letter where they get to read and they get to be invited. It's their own little scroll of, that's right. And if they resonate, they get to choose. It's like, and then the amount of stories we've had where children are like halfway through reading the scroll of invitation and like, okay, mum, I want to be in this. Like, we've had many people be like, my kid was halfway through and went, yep, sign me up. Like, I want to be a part of this. Are you sure you want to read the rest? Nope, I want to be a part of this. So it's really, really cool.
Yeah, I think it's, and same with adults. Sometimes I'm like, coming across a new mentor or whatever, like I already know within myself, there's this vibrational resonance. That's it. I'm in it. I need to receive this code in this way of being. So, with the kids going through this beautiful scroll on the website, it's like, oh yeah, that's why, it's part of my this incarnation. But yes, all of the links, you guys, you'll find down below for the magic school to apply, to register your kids, and of course to register and apply as a volunteer. With that being said, Gaby, I would love also to hear some of your words on future vision about like what is school gonna look like in 3, 5, 10 years from now? Because yes, it's a beautiful co-creation, but I also know you're taking so many proactive steps, and one of them is also creating the camps. So I would also love to hear more on that.
Dum ta dum, the future.
Yeah.
So the vision for this is to, well, first up, the vision of this is to have like I see a good 20,000 children and teens inside of this beautiful library and platform of light over the next couple of years. And then growing and growing and growing. So 5, 10 years from now, if not sooner, we would love the concept of, having the kids that are in the school receiving over the next couple of years and running classes for other kids, meaning that the kids become the transmitters, the channels, the teachers. And this is, I feel, the way that organically this has been lost somehow in our civilization, because older children that have a rite of passage can teach someone a couple of years behind them, or a year behind them, a few steps behind them. I feel so much better often than someone who's 20 years ahead of the journey, if this makes sense. And so one is this. I also see a team of, magic school leaders, and they not only teach and share, they are a part of the core creation. They share ideas. They literally join the round table of ideas and the council of light that is this beautiful school. So not just the volunteers that are working with me or the staff that are sharing ideas, these kids anchor on the round table. And I also see modern school systems approaching us and asking us to share some of our curriculum, to integrate more into other school grids, co-creating with other projects similar to this. And beyond this, having this vision become something physical. So right now, Magic School for Teens and Kids is in the online world. That's right, that's my beautiful puppy, Maya, come here. This is very exciting, isn't it? It's my puppy, Maya, the dog of light, and she was very excited. So right now, Magic School for Teens and Kids is in the digital world, meaning it's in a membership website with online classes. And we live in two worlds at this particular time in our civilization's journey. We have the online world and we have the physical, tangible world, and they're both relevant. And for me personally, one of my missions is to code the online world with light. There's been too many people saying it's bad and wrong, and I'm like, no, nothing's bad and wrong. Everything, every part of the universe can have light in it. And so part of my mission is to code the online world with light, and then having Magic School for Kids inside the online world is literally anchoring a full architecture of light into the digital grids, creating higher realm online worlds, creating alternate and parallel online playgrounds. It's profound. And then from this, anchoring it into the physical world, because every single child that receives from the digital library receives the frequencies, the codes, the teachings into their physicality and anchors them into the physical grid work. So it's beautiful. And then beyond that, we would love to have a physical school, meaning the vision is to have magic camp for kids. And I've been looking for land, traveling around, looking for land. Literally last week, just found another lot of beautiful land. We're still exploring it. There's a lot of research to do around it, but we're in the process of it. It's got 2 waterfalls on it and a swimming hall, and it's literally on the obsidian crystal and other crystals. It's very magical. There is an abundance of fairies and elves on this land. Wow. And so the vision is to build out a beautiful kind of retreat, off-grid retreat center, kind of not sort of glamping, but with cabins, and the intention to run magic camp for kids. And so what would happen is that kids from all over the world can literally attend this 1-week experience, which we're talking like a quantum 1 week. It would feel like they'd been there for weeks. They would recharge the 1 week at Magic Camp for Kids would give them enough energy and life force juice to go back out into the world regardless of where they live and still be able to retain their love and light in their heart. And so the vision is for kids all over the world to be able to attend. And we also want to run travel scholarships where we, give out certain travel, so it would be that they can attend completely for free, or we see it more by donation. So by donating to the foundation, someone can donate 1 cent, just 1 cent, or $10,000 to the cause. So it's not a price point. Does that make sense? It's that, the people all over the world get to add and contribute their resources, and any child can attend for any donation, even if it's 1 cent. Yeah, which is really, really important because we want to make this available for many. It's kind of interesting because across the memories that we have of different expansions in civilization, access to mystery schools, access to the knowledge of the universe has always been anchored within more of an abundant civilization. Let me explain. Mystery schools have always cost money in previous, civilizations. So I'm not sure if whoever's listening or watching, Mary Magdalene, for example, she went to many mystery schools and she was an extremely educated being. She was a wealthy being. Her parents were wealthy. She was able to go to many, many, many schools. The knowledge and the wisdom she had, she was a quantum healer, activator. Tantra, the modern day of what we know about Tantra, doesn't even cut it with what she was able to receive and the teachings she held. Yet at the same time, she went to those schools because her parents could afford them. And there's nothing wrong with that, there's nothing wrong with sharing resources. And I'm not saying that Magic School or Magic Camp for Kids is everything they'll ever need for their ascension. This is a free library of light and a free camp of light. Of course, the kids get to do other stuff and pay for things as they grow. And Of course, they get to, like learn and explore topics differently. Yet for me, the idea of being able to give children and teens a place to come to and to run a camp several times a year from retreat centers all over the world where they can come and be with people that that are like them. Just by being around other kids that are in this frequency, they grow, they activate, they embody so much more. And so I'm super excited to have a physical, like anchoring. So it starts off coding the digital grids and then comes in, anchoring in, where kids get to come in and be together. And oh my gosh, like I'm so excited about Magic Camp for Kids. I'm excited about all of it. I just want to paint you a little bit of a picture if I can. So imagine this, right? Adults want to come to Magic Camp for Kids. That's how cool it is. Imagine this, right? There'd be horses with saddles that have wings on them, right? And really comfortable saddles. None of this like old school, really uncomfortable saddle stuff. Saddles with like memory foam, like cushioned, like, where your little ass sits on it and you're comfortable. You're not bleeding to get off. That's right. We think about these things. So yeah, so imagine this. Then on top of this, the whole 1 week camp, and there'll be different age groups and different journeys. And it's like this initiation, of remembering and rites of passage for the little, like there's literally it's like a treasure hunt all the way through. So every single day there is a clue to unlock, and the clue can be inside of a classroom, on a horse ride in nature, like it could be inside of a rock like as you swim in the swimming hole. Like it's basically the clues are all over the camp, and as you find them, they give you the pieces. And so there's this like invisible treasure hunt journey happening while you're having this journey of doing your classes. And I'm not going to tell you what happens at the end of the treasure hunt, but it's magical that what gets revealed at the very, very end is so beautiful. The most profound ceremonies, initiations. So there's just all this magic, and people coming in. Like I've already been shown that there's certain souls missioned to literally be running these camps. It's part of their mission. They'll stay. Some of them will literally live at the retreat center for periods of time. They'll anchor there. They'll work with the kids, and then somebody else will come in and take their spot. And there'll be these like circulations over the years, providing the young, beautiful beings a place to, hold and anchor more love, more light. And the way I see this too is we can transmute so much through our heart frequency that we're literally, with this vision and with this camp for kids, welcoming children in younger consciousness to clear the frequency within their field, to heal, to not hold, to not be holding ancestral trauma, or to not be holding any pain, to be able to transmute all that and be in the present moment of now, to truly be able to be a clean, pure frequency of light in their body right now, and to take that light and bring it into the world and anchor that. And so think of it like every kid that goes to Magic Camp returns as a pillar of light into the physical world, and then there's this whole grid of light all over the world, and they are these pillars stabilizing and supporting the full anchoring of whole new realities and new ways of existence.
Wow, Gaby, no words, no words. Seriously, there were so many moments when I was like, "Oh, this is so cool," and this, and this, and this, and it's just truly incredible. And the last part you touched on about this kids being this pure vessel of light, and I think it's so important to acknowledge the opportunity and the vision here, because most of us and generations prior, we spent our lifetimes to actually undoing ancestral trauma, karma, and all the programming. We're more focused on not sharing our light codes, but just undoing the mess and the heaviness. So yeah, like I feel once it truly solidifies in the physical realm, and this beautiful starseeds will be going back after the camp, going back to their homelands and activating the grids there, like the awakening in the consciousness and earth grids will be just exponential.
Yes.
So it's so more than just education that is happening here.
It's like the truth is every single time we evolve or ascend and we shift into a completely different consciousness, there's no going back. You know, like haven't you noticed, like even if you look back, Christina, a year ago at the who you were a year ago, doesn't it feel like, whoa, like you're a different you now
Yeah,
because you're on a very
100%.
yeah. And then 5 years ago, and you know, it shifts. To me, these beautiful kids, not only are they being born and they're currently like already they're different to the way we were. They think differently, they feel differently, they're already so much more conscious of nature and other people, and you know, like gosh, not being judgmental and being inclusive, and they're already co-creating at such beautiful levels, the younger generations. And so imagine if they have additionally on top of that the expansion of that, the embodiment templates and structures to flow into. Oh, I can't even, like, it's impossible for them to be a part of a cruel world. It's just impossible because they can't. They could not hurt another person for their own personal gain. It'd be like to stop breathing for them, you know. And this is, to me, how we create a whole new planet fully, because the consciousness of this race is a big part of it. You know, humanity plays a really big part. And then, oh, like, I know for myself, I've been going through massive initiations and receiving many, many upgrades and codes and teachings in the quantum on how to co-create with land, because Magic Camp for Kids is being built as a co-creation with land that very specifically is able to hold its frequency anchor. Like, this is really powerful quantum work that we're doing. And this project is working with so many councils of light in our galaxy, our universe, and multiverse. There are so many beautiful councils of light co-creating Magic School for Kids. And so I've been learning how to feel into land, how to be able to really go deep on talking to the ancestors, thousands and thousands and thousands of years, deep, 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 layers and layers and layers, to talk to the plant kingdom, the tree people, the tree spirits, and to the elementals. It's a whole universe. If you just go into land, it's a universe to explore. And I've been learning how to do this because the land tells me where to place the camp. Only the trees can tell me if they are allowing me to chop them down and use them as part of the wood that makes the camp, you know, that contributes, or if I'm to build around that tree because that tree is to stay here. You know, it's a completely different way to co-create. And for me, I feel like I know the journey I've been through as I've been receiving these initiations and codes, and gosh, like, I'm in Australia right now, and even yesterday, after exploring the land that I've been exploring, yesterday I went into a meeting. This was profound. I got taken roughly 20,000 years ago, right? And the Aboriginal culture in Australia is like 40 something thousand years old. It's the oldest culture. I was taken around 20,000 years ago, and I was sitting around a campfire with Aboriginal elders, and they were teaching me through sound and song and sharing codes and teaching teachings of how, like, uploading and upgrading my system instantly to be able to communicate at another deeper level with the plants, with the trees, and have access, like giving me key codes to be able to communicate at a much deeper level with that whole network, and sit around a round table with the tree people, with the tree kingdom, you know. And whew, I can't go back. Like, there's no way I could, like, after experiencing what I've experienced, I could never, ever just buy a block of land and be like, yeah, I want that one. Here's the money. Like, it's a process now. It's like feeling the land, talking to all these rituals and all of these cleanses. Or sometimes the land will ask you to do something for it first before it even, you know, thinks about having you on it. So I was doing all this grid work, like phenomenal, profound grid work, activating technologies, doing all of this stuff. But you know what I mean? Like, when we access a different form of consciousness, we can't go back. None of us, I know none of my friends, you included, we could never do anything of harm. We could never go to war. We just couldn't be violent and cruel. We can't do that. It's not in us. And this is the future. When our children grow up to be holding that much love, that much light, and most of all, and this is my biggest piece, my biggest excitement, is this ability to allow them to fully transmute fear. If our children and teens grow up and let go of fear and have love be their guiding force, then there's no need for any of the previous timelines to repeat themselves. Then we get to truly build something new, because our current civilization of Earth, the one that we remember over the last few hundred years, it's been built on the frequency of fear. And now we get to build one on the frequency of love. So this is the vision of the future.
Wow, so much goodness in your words, Gabby. And yeah, just the way you describe, how the indigenous tribe was passing the knowledge and the key codes to you for you to be able to co-create with the land with so much, consciousness, awareness, and love within you, right? And this is why I'm so drawn to you as one of, main New Earth leaders, is because you have such a big vision and so much love in your heart, and you're so humble and grounded, and you don't like tell your stuff, go and buy the land and that's it. No, you're the one who actually goes and does the work and anchors the love into the grid. And with that, I just want to remind everyone who's listening, you have kids, you don't have kids, it doesn't matter. The creation of the new earth starts with us, and every single one of us holds the key codes that are unique to you. So don't think, I don't have money, or I look at Kristina or I look at Gaby, I'm not in that same level. It doesn't matter. You came here to co-create and contribute something different. So just listen to your heart, to love, right? Transmute that fear, because fear is not gonna create that new earth. It's listening to yourself, and that's how we all build the new empire of light.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I love
amazing.
that.
Well, with that, I feel that this transmission of light, this message, is coming to completion. So again, guys, as mentioned, you'll find all the links down below about the magic school to enroll your kids, to apply as a volunteer. You'll be able to connect with Gaby as well. Gaby, is there any last words and message that you'd like to share about the magic school or with the listeners?
Well, one more. There'll also be a link there for our Instagram page. So Magic School for Teens and Kids has a new Instagram page. Please follow us and, fill in and be a part of that, and share that with as many people as you feel called to. And thank you. My last message is thank you for being here and listening to this and being a part of this, because your listening is such a big deal. You receiving this, if it sparked even the tiniest bit of love or hope or joy in your heart, then that's helped us anchor this vision, this project even more into the planet. The more beautiful, gorgeous fractals of source, born living consciousness. Every one of us is a beautiful God creator. And every one of us, if we have an emotional connection to any project, we're helping that anchor onto the planet. So thank you for listening. And thank you for allowing your heart to open and receive this beautiful project, this beautiful vision. And thank you for having me on your gorgeous show, on your gorgeous podcast to share this. I really appreciate how much of a support you are, and how much your love with this project is. If I could give you a cuddle right now, I would.
Virtual hug. All right, thank you. Thank you, Gaby, and thank you everyone for listening. Leave the comment down below. Please give a like to this video and share it to your socials. Let's spread the message and the awareness about this beautiful platform that exists for kids, but truly it will serve the whole humanity. All right, all my love.
Thank you.
Bye.